Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that if you're returning. How are you today? I know it's getting closer and closer to Christmas, and I'm sure we are all running around like chickens without our heads, trying to get everything ready. Last minute gifts, last minute things for dinner. But you know me, I gotta bring you the truth. So here we go. But before we get started, if you have coffee, get your chocolate, get your sweats or your yoga pants on. Me, I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper. Why? I never drink soda, but for some reason, I had to drink a soda today, and I never do that. But I'll go on. So, if you haven't signed up for our newsletter yet, please do so. All the information you're going to need is in the description box below. Okay, you can get a hold of me or Trish so we can get you signed up for the newsletter. Or if you just need to talk, our email is in the description box. Okay, so you could just email us. All right, we're always here to listen to you. Okay, so let's get comfortable. Let's get prepared. But then again, those of us of the prepare mind are always prepared. Or are we? Are you ever prepared for what's ever going to come out of my mouth? No, you're not. So, here we go. I have to lighten the mood. I do. So there's a lot of things that I have to talk about today. Okay. And just a reminder, this Friday we will not be going live. Possibly going live on Thursday, all depending on Trish's schedule with her and her food pantry, because you know how she does the food pantry on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So with that being said, here we go. Okay, so I have some humorous things to put in here for you, okay? And you guys send me the best stuff. You really do. So here's the first thing that I want to put in here, okay? It's top 20 reasons why chocolate is better than men. Oh, did I say that out loud? And then this was sent to me, and I'm like, wow, okay. This is not very, Santa Claus is apparently giving out $100, to parents if you bring them to him, and they get the, so, I mean, here's the proof. It's, here you go. Okay, and then I received this email, okay, from a subscriber. And if you look in the description box below, okay, there's going to be a lot of links for you guys to click on so you can all have your references, because I know how much you guys love to have your references, okay? And this subscriber, she sent me, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 links, okay? So you guys can know what she's talking about in her email. Okay, so this is about the New York City mandates, all right? And it says, I know 3 people personally who live in New York City right now, and I've been following what's going on there very closely. Right now, there is a bill in New York which is truly totalitarian in nature and is in the process of being voted on under the name Active Bill A as in Apple 416. To be honest, at this point, whether or not the bill passes isn't really all that important, because New York City is already arresting people as we speak for not having their cards. You know what cards I'm talking about, right? or the masks, right? And on Friday, it was mentioned that there were arrests made at Applebee's and the Cheesecake Factory. And if you remember, during Friday Night's Live, we were talking about this. And this was all of which are true events that took place. I've only seen the video of the arrests that were made at the Cheesecake Factory. So all of these links, okay, that she's leaving, it's all has to do with what's going on there, okay? So if there's a video of the arrest being made at Applebee's, I have yet to see it. There have been more arrests made since then, and yesterday, a veteran was arrested inside of a Panera Bread. What he says in the video is very hard to hear, but it's something along the lines of what happened to the Constitution. Oh my God. So what I would do when you guys are clicking on these links to watch these videos, wear earphones, because sometimes it's easier to hear what's actually being said if you wear earphones than if you're just watching a video without wearing earphones. You know how you can pick certain things up better if you're wearing earphones. You know what I mean? So then she goes on to say, like I said, I've been keeping a close eye on what's taking place in New York City specifically. There have been many protests outside of Barclays over Kyrie, Kyrie. I don't know what that is. Kyrie Irving not being able to play because he's unvaxxed. Oh, my. BLM has been putting the pressure on politicians and establishments that require a vax to eat because the majority of the unvaxxed are Black people. Are they really? I didn't know that. There are many small businesses that are still protesting the mandates, and there are accounts on Instagram that promote small businesses that don't require them in New York City. They are putting everything on the line over this, and rightfully so. Trump showed his true colors this week when signs were rolled out inside of the Trump Towers in New York City. And she put in 3 links there, okay. He also showed his true colors while speaking on Hunter Biden and the vaxxers at Bill O'Reilly's conference. It wasn't a good look, and every time he talks, he's talking out of both sides of his mouth. He is not going to save anyone. Take a look into his ties with Woody Johnson, a.k.a. the great-grandson of Robert Wood Johnson I. I don't know who that is. I uncovered this connection about a month ago while looking into Epstein's original Black Book from the 90s. I heard about that. I did hear about that. Notice how DJT was adamant about getting the J&J back onto the markets. And notice how badly the J&J company is doing right now. They actually are having to split up the company because they're getting sued so badly. And then she left a link for that, so that'll be in the description box. If any more information comes out about what's going on in New York City, I'll be sure to let you know. All 3 of my contacts there don't have and usually not with and they're also Black. One of them got kicked out of a restaurant a few weeks ago back, actually. Luckily, they're not in jail yet. I just pray it'll stay that way. This is terrible. I hope African Americans are not being targeted. I mean, for what? Just because they're not getting this? It's their right. What the hell? Sorry if this was really long, but I hope the information given was of use for you all. Well, absolutely. Thank you, honey. I appreciate this. Wow. Oh my God. It's absolutely amazing. You know, that these people are actually being arrested. All right, so all of those links will be in the description box below, okay? Because that is terrifying to even know that this is actually even happening. And then I got this email, okay? And there's going to be a link in the description box below to a video, okay? And it says, "Hi, ladies. You know this already, but I suggest watching this episode. It's short and taking to heart the pictures as well as the words, and ask yourself some questions. What are they scrambling to get? What price do they have to pay? How long until they can afford these things again? Is this coming here? This is why we stock a pantry. Learn now how to make simple breads, grow vegetables, can meats, and freeze dry now while it's still cheap. A well-stocked pantry is the whole point of this episode. We do it to ride out a storm like this." Oh, Lord. Yeah, this is why we prep just in general. Because there is a storm coming. And some of us are left to prep by ourselves, and if we have to ride out this storm by ourselves, at least we can sit here and say, well, at least I have my preps, and at least I'll be able to survive. You know what I mean? Well, the link will be in the description box below. There's going to be a lot of links, okay? There's going to be a lot. So just keep that in mind, all right? So then this was sent to me, this picture. And this picture was just absolutely gorgeous. This picture was taken in the backyard of a subscriber's home. So beautiful. She said, "Our beautiful lady has a light winter coat on waiting for the next storm coming in." It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, oh my God, wait till you see it. Wait till you see this. And then we have an update about Maryland, okay? And this is from a subscriber who lives in Maryland, okay? She says, here's what I can say, and I hope it's helpful. Prince George County went into virtual learning due to the high number of staff testing positive. There are not enough staff to teach in person. No substitutes will cover classes either. Simply being in a school building is a risk. I live in Montgomery County, and our county is resisting returning to remote learning, but I see us following along with Prince George County. We are twice their size. Many private schools in Montgomery County have already returned to remote learning, and this is also the case in nearby Washington, D.C. Just today, my school had 5 staff members who tested positive, and these staff members were sent home. Both our nurses and 1 security guard are out. And they all have this with the boost, right? And we have teachers who are on leave too. It was not easy to find class coverage. At some point, the lack of adult staff will be an issue. This issue will be the decisive one. Our teachers are already subbing through their planning periods due to staff shortages. They have no break during the day between their classes and no time to plan or prepare. Their stress is high now, even without the stress of remote learning. I can't even imagine all the union rules that are being broken. Even at this point, Maryland has a strong teachers union. And getting back to the V issues, last month in our school we had 4 classes out in quarantine, and the teachers taught remotely, and everything seemed fine. When the students returned, they appear fine. By the way, all after-school activities for the state have been canceled. There's no sports, etc. Some schools canceled their after-school activities a while ago due to high number of cases. So sports and clubs would not be affected by a return to remote learning since they have already been canceled. Our holiday and school schedule in January is as follows. The students are on winter break until January 3rd. And we have a half day and 2 federal holidays during January. If students return to remote learning in January would be a smooth time to make this transition. Also, in Maryland, our students have been issued out Chromebooks. They are ready for remote learning. We were not ready last year in this regard, and this would be a huge advantage for this time around. And schools would still supply breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Wow. Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy, Angel? Our school had a drive-through for this during the first lockdown. During the first lockdown, the school staff and office staff did curbside distribution daily. Wow. The the library staff did the library book distribution. These are important things that keep running during remote learning. I hope this information was, yes, it was helpful. Thank you. Wow. So then this picture was sent to me. She went, this subscriber went shopping and she said, I found these toilet plungers. She said one's bigger than the other and they're both the same price. I don't know. So if you've ever seen this, here you go. And then these pictures were sent to me and I'm like, this, wow. This is not okay at all by any means whatsoever. Okay. And you know, when and the messed up about this whole thing is that this thing is put right next to a Christmas tree. Okay. This is in Albany, so I'm guessing New York. The installation depicts the deity Baphomet as a baby. Okay. Satanic Temple members said that the display is meant to represent plurality, unity, compassion, and empathy, and described it as a display of positive values. Think I'm kidding? Let's see. Springfield, oh, Illinois, sorry. Because the other picture said Albany. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. 8 pictures, and these people are all standing around like, yay! This is horrifying. This is what nightmares are made out of. And they put it right next to a Christmas tree. I'm not one to ever put anyone down for their beliefs. I'm really not. But this, we have enough evil in the world. Let's not put it on display. It's called Let's Keep Christ in Christmas. Okay. Jesus is the reason for this season. Enough said. So just look at this. Hang on. Okay, so now I don't know if you guys have heard of the drugstore Rite Aid. Okay. Uh, they have plans to shutter at least 63 stores as it reassesses how many locations it actually needs. And the company said that the closures were identified, okay, as part of an ongoing review, and it anticipates it will find additional shops to shut down in the next few months. And Rite Aid said its goal is to reduce cost, boost profitability, and have healthy foundation. And the company said the 63 closures, which began last month, are expected to boost its earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization by roughly $25 million. Rite Aid posted mixed financial results for the fiscal third quarter. Okay, and although it earned more than expected on an adjusted basis, its sales for the 3 months ended November 27th and came in lower than analysts projected. And the retailer also cut its outlook for sales for the fiscal year, and Rite Aid shares closed up on Tuesday up 21.4%, and shares are down about 4% year to date, putting Rite Aid's market capitalization at about $839 million. So now both CVS and Walgreens have been focusing more on effort on digital growth and turning stores into destinations that offer a range of healthcare services from flu shots to diagnostic tests. But with everything going on with, like, these smash and grabs and stuff like that, and the robberies and thefts are just awful. Nothing is shocking me anymore. Absolutely nothing shocks me anymore. And it's just terrible. It really, truly is terrible. I just... I feel so bad for all these businesses. I really do, especially for small business owners that are being affected by these moronic idiots that are doing these smash and grabs and these robberies and thefts and stuff like that. It's just like, what could you possibly, I just don't understand. I really don't. I really wish that this would all just stop. I really do. And CVS, they want to start closing down stores, I think, in San Francisco now too. But that's because of the garbage, like the smash and grabs and the thefts and the robberies. So, it's like, how bad could it possibly get? How much worse can it possibly get? They want to close 6 of its 21 stores in San Francisco. It's like, wow, that it's just terrible. It really is when you think about it, that these stores have to do this. So here's something about Massachusetts, because I know quite a few of you live in New England, okay? Their governor, Charlie Baker, okay, his administration is once again recommending that all individuals in Massachusetts, regardless of your status, okay, that you wear these face coverings while indoor public spaces. A lot of people still do that regardless, even down here, okay? I don't know if they do it out of precaution, whatever. But they're requiring it now, I guess, up in Massachusetts. Is this going to, be for all of New England? I don't know. But the state's Department of Public Health announced the updated mask advisory as the new variant, right, becomes the dominant strain. I'm not even going to get into that, because I don't want to, first, I don't want to get in trouble, and two, so many different people have so many different opinions. It's not even worth talking about it anymore, really. It's not. So the advisory particularly urges individuals to wear a mask if they have a weakened immune system, face increased risk for severe disease, because of Rona, because of their age or underlying health conditions, or they live with someone who is high risk, or whatever the case may be. Okay, so the link is going to be in the description box below if you live in Massachusetts or even in New England itself. This is what's coming, or is when it has gone into effect now. So just so you know. Okay. I know. Is it going to be countrywide again? Who the hell knows? It's it's terrible. It really is. I really just hope and pray that we don't go through this again, where it's like mandated, because I can't. I wouldn't be able to handle that. I really don't. I really don't. So anyway, this, okay. I was sent this and I'm like, oh man, no. That I was a little afraid to even talk about this, but I'm like, this has to get out. It's one of those. A Swedish company, okay, is making headlines by calling to mind a nightmarish image for Christians around the world. Okay. Now, when I said that first line, that first sentence, being as though we're Christians or Catholics or whatever, okay, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when we think nightmare? I want you to look at your hand. What would be on our hand that would be the biggest nightmare of our lives? I'll let you think about that for a second. So a video from the South China Post went viral on Friday for showing the microchip technology recently introduced by the Stockholm-based startup Epicenter. The company's chief disruptor, Hans, and it's Hannes, I'm not even going to try and pronounce this last name, Sjoblad, demonstrated how their product, the size of a grain of rice, has been adapted as a Rona passport, implanted under the skin in the arm or hand. He said the company developed the tech for other purposes, but quickly realized it had potential for use as a kind of passport storing data about a status that can be read by any device using the near-field communication protocol. Implants are a very versatile technology that can be used for many things, he said, adding, right now, it's very convenient to have these always accessible on your implant. And according to the UK outlet Metro, his chip is already being used by 6,000 people in Sweden, who also use them to store their financial information, enabling them to buy goods with the swipe of a hand. Now, for Christians, the description of the microchip immediately called to mind the Apostle John's prophecy in Revelation, chapter 13, verse 15 to 17. The second beast was given power to give breath to the image of the first beast, so that the image could speak and cause all who refused to worship the image to be killed. It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name. This calls for wisdom, that the person who has insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and that number is 666. I don't even want to think about it. This son of a bitch. So, Epicenter says the chips can also be used to store such information as building access codes, bus passes, gym memberships. And the development comes just as numerous nations around the world are requiring citizens to show proof, right? On social media, the reaction to the idea of implanting this is overwhelmingly negative, and of course it's going to be. We're seeing everything that's happening. Christians around the world are saying the book of Revelations is being played out right now. And I know I'm probably going to, get backlash for even saying things like that, but I Congressman Lauren Boebert, and that's Boebert, she tweeted, "Hey, remember when this was just a conspiracy? So convenient, not all concerning," commented a veteran investigative journalist, Cheryl Atkinson. A YouTuber by the name of Casey Neistat, Neistat, said, "Just today I was bitching about how stupid paper vaccine cards are and asking for an easier solution, but this is not really what I was thinking." Yeah. Ryan Grimm, D.C. bureau chief at the left-wing news outlet The Intercept, tweeted, "Is this a parody or real? Oh, Lord." Finally, one Twitter account quipped, "Remember your crazy Christian relative who warned you about the mark of the beast? You owe them an apology." Yeah. And funny, because, I had done a video a while ago, a long time ago, talking about this, and I was told, "You're nuts. You're nuts." And I said, "Am I?" Yeah. All right, guys. That's all there is for this video. I will see you tomorrow. Okay? And then I'm taking off for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I've already got a full house. As of right now, it is 2 a.m. and I am filming now because it's quiet in the house. The kids are sleeping. Yes, I have a full house. I have all my nieces, my nephews here. So I will see you guys in the next one. I love you. I will see you in the next one. You stay safe. You stay positive. You keep prepping. And as always, fearless. Ciao.